him around 9 o'clock this evening.
No justice, no peace.
No justice!
No peace!
Reporter Ashley Thompson joins us live with this breaking news coverage from Watauga County. Ashley?
Glenn, this all started yesterday morning when authorities say they served David Hunter with a search warrant. They said it was at that time that he escaped out of the window onto Highway 31 behind me and into the woods. Now today, Chief Sedinger says Hunter came out of hiding, out of the woods, and approached someone's home, and those people chased him off their property with a baseball bat and called authorities. And authorities say they saw him go back into the woods, and at this time they said tracking dogs got a pretty good scent off where he went, and they caught him around 9 o'clock this evening. And Glenn, he was wearing little to no clothing when they caught him. We saw him out here. He had no shoes on. He looked beaten up, but they did catch him.
Breaking news from Butler County. A manhunt is over with the suspect now in custody. Reporter Ashley Thompson is live from Greenville tonight with the latest on how the suspect was caught. Ashley?
Glenn, we're at the Butler County Jail where just over an hour ago the suspect was brought in after being chased for more than 5 hours. Now what you're about to see on your screen is video of the suspect. As you can see, he's in pretty bad condition with lots of bruises and cuts. His name is Scott Braley. He's 33 years old, originally from Florida. Now this manhunt started when the Butler County Drug Task Force attempted to pull Braley over because they say he was driving a stolen car, but he did not pull over. Instead, he led authorities on a high-speed chase before crashing his car and fleeing by foot into the woods near U.S. Highway 31, just south of Greenville. Both the Butler County Sheriff's Office and Greenville Police searched using tracking dogs and ultimately finding him.
It's been about a 5-hour chase. The dog handlers from Atmore done an outstanding job. They had went over 6 miles chasing him, and then we got the call that he was here in town. For whatever reason, somebody saw him, and we were able to bring the dogs over here, and they got on him here in town and was able to apprehend him.
Now he's being charged with 7 counts, and the sheriff told us this is definitely someone they were looking for, someone they wanted in jail. Glenn?
Ashley, any details on these 7 counts that he's facing tonight?
A few of them, like drug possession, running a stop sign, stolen vehicle, just a few of the 7 counts.
And any word on whether he was armed with any sort of weapon, Ashley?
They did not say he was armed. Actually, when he got to the jail, he didn't have any pants on, so he had very little on. He was not armed, Glenn.
All right, Ashley Thompson live tonight from Greenville on the end of this manhunt. Breaking news tonight, the suspect, Scott Braley, was chased more than 10 miles total before he was captured.
Live with reaction.
Stephanie, some people are rejoicing with the court's decision while others are not so happy. Same-sex marriage is not recognized here in Alabama, but now for those who are married in other states, they can now reap federal benefits here. Paul Hard is an associate professor of counseling at the University of Auburn Montgomery. problem.
That's undoubtedly one of our favorites right there.
He was married in Massachusetts, a state that recognizes same-sex marriage. But under the Defense of Marriage Act, or DOMA, marriage between same-sex couples did not have to be recognized by the federal government.
People that I know that have been together in monogamous relationships for 20 years have less civil rights than people who are married through common law.
But now the Supreme Court has struck down DOMA. Hard says the court's ruling is a victory for the gay community.
Initial reaction, I'm delighted. I see this as a great day for civil rights for at least 10 to 20% of American citizens.
Though not everyone is thrilled with the decision, and in Montgomery, even churches are split on the issue. Baxter Morris, a pastor at First Baptist Church of Montgomery, says he will continue to define marriage between a man and a woman.
I have to remain true to the faith that I believe in, and one of the first article of faith of the Baptist Church is I believe in the Bible, and will accept nothing else as my guide. So, as the Bible defines marriage, that's how we'll have to define it.
But other churches are celebrating the court's ruling. Amy Harris is the president of P-Flag Montgomery, a support group for gays and their families. The group meets monthly at Emmanuel Presbyterian Church, a church that welcomes everyone, regardless of sexual preference. Harris tells us she believes the Supreme Court got it right.
I think it's very encouraging. People in Alabama get to have these federal benefits, which they didn't have yesterday.
Even though DOMA has been done away with, people are still split on the decision. Now, it's important to note that same-sex couples will receive federal benefits here in Alabama, but not states' benefits, because Alabama does not recognize same-sex marriage. Stephanie? This was the scene of a murder after an innocent woman was hit by a stray bullet, killing her.
Could y'all bow y'all head?
They opened with a prayer.
We ask now a special blessing upon the family of Alicia Scott.
Then a song.
You cause me no harm, 'cause I'm safe in God's arms.
All to honor Alicia Scott, who was shot while sitting outside of her home in the Patterson Court neighborhood. Authorities say Scott was an innocent victim caught in the crossfire between men shooting at each other. Police tell us the shooting stemmed from a robbery involving drugs. DeAndrea Collins knew Scott and says she is still trying to cope with what's happened.
I grew up with this girl. I went to school with her, whatever, because she was a very, very nice person, and she liked to be around people. And she was a loving person.
Scott's sister was also present at the vigil. But understandably, too choked up to speak. But others paid tribute to the mother of three by lighting candles and leaving flowers at her doorstep.
I knew Alicia. I went to school with her growing up. She was a wonderful person, dearly kind, sweethearted.
Mariana Hill also grew up with Scott and says she now looks at life a little differently.
I woke up this next morning, kissed my kids, and let them know I'm still here.
Giles Williams Jr. is the county commissioner for this area. He tells us he wanted to attend the vigil to show the people in his district that he's concerned with the violence.
I'm concerned with what's going on here. I'm concerned about what happened, and I'm just upset with the activities that are going on in some of our neighborhoods.
And those in the neighborhood say this one especially hit close to home.
Just know her kids was outside, because that could have been me.
People here are pleading for whoever is responsible to come forward. In Montgomery, Ashley Thompson, Alabama News Network. Hundreds of people came to the Capitol to protest the Zimmerman verdict and to support Trayvon Martin. It's a day some say will go down in history.
No justice, no peace.
Through rain and shine, the protesters prayed,
to pray for the city of Montgomery.
Marched, chanted,
No justice!
No peace!
and remembered Trayvon Martin in their own way. Representative Alvin Holmes was a guest speaker at the I Am Trayvon Martin rally and says he will continue to protest the outcome of the case until civil rights charges are brought against George Zimmerman. Is this a race issue?
Yeah, it's a race issue. Yeah, it's a race issue. Oh, Zimmerman, he saw a black man at night and just shot it. Could have stayed in his car like he was told to stay in his car.
Some wore shirts with Martin's image, brought Skittles and donned hoodies, attempting to draw comparisons between themselves and the slain 17-year-old.
I could have been Trayvon laying on that ground, fighting for my life, and could have been in a casket. I just think that it's wrong, and I send all my prayers to Trayvon's family.
Others came to protest the Stand Your Ground law, a self-defense law that shot into the spotlight during the Zimmerman trial.
And it's one thing to defend yourself, but it just has too many flaws. It just opens the door to misuse and abuse.
Both the Justice for Trayvon rally and the I Am Trayvon rally drew big numbers. And organizer Earl Wagner says he believes Montgomery's rallies will have an impact on other parts of the country.
There's a whole lot of cities that is much bigger than Montgomery, but because this is the cradle of the civil rights movement, those other cities, they're looking at what we are going to do.
Now, this case has sparked national attention, and some say these rallies are the start of a new civil rights movement. In Montgomery, Ashley Thompson, Alabama News Network.
Repeal HB 56! Repeal!
Sunday afternoon, more than 500 people marched from the state capitol to the governor's mansion to let Governor Robert Bentley know he is no longer their leader.
The people of Alabama are better than HB 56 and the new revisions of the law.
HB 658 passed the House and was approved by the Senate in special session, but Senator Hank Sanders says he is marching because he believes his colleagues failed to bring Alabama justice.
But we will not stop fighting. We will fight in courts, we'll fight in the street, we'll fight wherever we need to fight in order to be able to get rid of these oppressive laws.
People of all races and denominations across Alabama marched to show support, and some believe faith will change leaders' minds.
Well, it feels like we took one step forward and 3 steps back, but the Spirit of God is stronger than man's law.
A law that many immigrants say does not define who they are, but gives them a reason to define their future in our state and in our nation.
Alabama is united in defiance of a hurtful law that only seeks to discriminate a certain part of the population of Alabama.
My dream for Alabama is a tolerant, equal Alabama where kids aren't afraid to go to school and people aren't afraid to be pulled over by the police because of their immigration status.